Hi, and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Sunday, March 15th, 2015 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I consciously tune into you and honor my flow. And that is going to help you immensely through the energy today. So we have the moon in Capricorn meeting up with Uranus, Pluto, and Mars. And this is really taking us straight right up into that final Uranus-Pluto square. I've been talking about it all week. And if you want more information on that, really look into yesterday's horoscope and tomorrow's, because I'll go into it some more. But today I want to focus on the moon aspect of it. The moon is our feelings. And so with all this that's happening, with this shift that is happening, our lives have changed since June of 2012. And so it's time to feel into what's coming up for you. Is it coming up to be let go? Is it coming up because there's some kind of step, some kind of element of transformation that you need to take in whatever's coming up for you? And is it coming up because it's true to you, or is it coming up because it's one of those feelings that needs to be dealt with? So anything that comes up with Uranus, Pluto, Mars, all in the flow and interacting with the moon today, feel into that feeling and ask yourself, is this from love? Is this something I want with me, or is this something else? And if it's something else, take whatever necessary step you need to take to release it, let go of it. Pluto is that transformation vibration. It wants to help you transform any feeling. I do believe, actually, that there is nothing that is not love. I think even anger and fear can go back to the elements of love. Like fear can come from the fear of not being loved, which means you're not tuning into your own love. Or anger can come from, your needs not being met, which again is like, hey, how can you love yourself to meet your needs? It always can come back to that elements of love. So tune in, feel that. And then Mars interacting with Moon and Pluto, Mars is telling you, this is my passion. This is how I want to move forward. So can you honor that? By finding your flow. I really do think when we find your flow, we really do learn how to honor our passion. We're in the moment. When you're in the flow, you're in the moment. You're not back in the past. You're not in the future. You're just right here, right where you need to be. And the sun will connect to the moon today, asking you to bring the elements of the flow to that Capricorn moon, which the Capricorn moon loves to get things done, but it's kind of feeling a little wonky right now with all that's happening, with all the interaction that it's going through, and also with Saturn recently going retrograde yesterday. A few things I want to mention before I do a little bonus thing for you guys. Mercury will be 4 degrees in the evening. Mercury is newly in Pisces, so you may find your mind coming up against finding that flow. Again, ask yourself, is this from love? And tomorrow is that, that final Uranus-Pluto square. So I thought I would do something pretty cool with that, and I would go through the different signs and where this is igniting in your chart. So we'll start with Capricorn. So Capricorn, you are working with Pluto in your first house and Uranus in your 4th house. And I do want to mention that this is all dependent on your rising sign and sun sign degrees. So it may be a little bit off. You may have to look to the sign before or after to really officially feel where it is. This is just kind of general. So Capricorn, 1st and 4th. Pluto in your first house has been transforming your I am vibration and helping you step into your power and know which boundaries you need to put down when they're not honoring your own truth. And the 4th house is all about your feelings. And so Uranus is in there revolutionizing, changing your feelings. Capricorn, you love to feel in control by not necessarily showing your feelings. And Uranus is showing you, hey, it's powerful to show your feelings. It's powerful to honor your feelings. And that's where real work gets done. And Capricorn loves the energy of getting real work done. Sagittarius, Pluto is in your 2nd house and Uranus is in your 5th house. The 2nd house with Pluto transforming your worth and helping you with your talents. So you're moving forward in your worth. I know this for a fact as a Sagittarius. We're moving forward in our worth and bringing forth things that we never knew that maybe we could make money from, like Astrology. And then in our fifth house, Uranus is shifting the world of our inner child, bringing forth creativity, but also helping us look into any of those times where maybe we felt small from, you know, teachers or somebody telling us that we couldn't do something and realizing, hey, we can, and making that breakthrough from those past wounds that we had been carrying. Scorpio, you have Pluto in your third house of communication, and then Uranus in your sixth house of your daily reality and your physical body and health. And so Pluto in your third house is changing your transformation. It's changing the way you think about things. And you know, you love the planet of Pluto. It's your ruling planet. But maybe it's telling you, hey, I am, you know, my thoughts make my life. Change your thoughts, change your life. And so instead of dwelling on painful situations or situations that I can't change, I'm going to instead focus my mind, focus my thoughts on what I'd like to bring into the world. And the sixth house, you know, you can really use your mind with the sixth house. The sixth house is the energy of your physical body. So Uranus is saying, hey, this is your antenna, and this antenna can tell you what's going on in your world. So maybe part of your revolution is in actually tuning into your body. Our body, I just have to say, every cell in our body has consciousness. So there's so much wisdom going on in here, feeding up into here. So tune in, make that your revolution breakthrough, tuning into your body and letting that help direct your communication. Libra, you are working through the fourth house and the seventh house. Pluto is in your fourth house, changing your feelings, changing your emotions, changing your home life. I know a lot of Libras who have had babies lately. And Libra, I want to remind you that there's a big cat behind me. I want to remind you, when it comes to our feelings, I think one of the most powerful things you can do is honor your feelings. And Libra, you love harmony so much that sometimes you bring harmony to everybody else, but there's disharmony within yourself. So it's time, Libra, not to sacrifice your own harmony for the rest of the world. There's a way to find that balance with everybody. Love balance. And the seventh house, Uranus in your seventh house of relationships, is changing your relationships, revolutionizing your relationships. And I again think this goes along with the harmony thing. It's time to choose harmony within here, because when you find harmony in here, it's actually easier to bring it out around here. So revolutionize the way you look at your relationships and tune into your relationship with yourself first. Virgo, you're working through the fifth and the eighth house. The fifth house is the house of your inner child. So Pluto in your fifth house is just bringing forward your inner child, transforming your creativity and making you a true creativity goddess. And then the eighth house is the house of transformation. So you've got a lot of transformation energy going on. Eighth house with Aries, or Uranus in the eighth house of Aries. I was going to say something. I'm so distracted by that cat back there. But it's bringing transformation into your power. So you're setting those boundaries that you need to set in your life so you can better step into the life that you want to bring forward. I think this is a great setup with the creativity and the eighth house of your power and boundaries, preparing you for Jupiter moving into your sign in, I think, August of this year, August or September. I'm not sure exactly when, but Jupiter is going to light up your world. Leo, you are working through the sixth and ninth houses. The sixth house with Pluto is the house of your body, your health. And with Pluto in there, it's time to transform your health. It's time to transform how you treat your body. Your body is not just a thing to be decorated. It is a thing to be honored. So how can you honor your body? How can you transform how you listen to your body? And then the ninth house, Uranus in the ninth house, is revolutionizing your world, your horizons. It's bringing increased possibilities, increased truths, increased beliefs into your world. And maybe part of this is your beliefs about your body that can feed into your health. Expand your horizons with Uranus in your ninth. There's no time like the present. If there's something you've wanted to try, this is a good time to try it. Cancer, working through 7th and 10th houses. So Capricorn is in your 7th house, changing your relationships, shifting your relationships. And again, turn back into your relationship with yourself. If you don't have a great relationship with yourself, or whatever, even a good relationship with yourself, it's time to look within and change that. Work through that. And then the 10th house is changing your career. Moving through major career changes right now, revolutionizing your career. And it's time to do what you love. It's time to bring forth your creativity. You know, Cancer, you come in with so much sensitivity and creativity. The world needs that. So it's time to step up. How can you step up with your purpose and be true to yourself? Gemini, you are working through your 8th and 11th houses. So Pluto is in your 8th house. And, Pluto rules the 8th house. So this is a major transformation that you're going through, Gemini. And I think part of, all of this rebirthing ourselves is part of you actually accepting both sides of yourself. So part of this transformation is understanding the dark and the light within, embracing both, and stepping into power with both by acknowledging the parts of yourself that you may not necessarily like, the bad twin, and allowing the bad twin to come and integrate in. Might sound a little bit weird, but it's actually a very powerful thing when you acknowledge those parts of yourself that you don't really like. And the 11th house, I love this. This is such an amazing combination. Uranus in Aries in your 11th house, Gemini. The 11th house is the house of service and our friendships and the divine mind. But, to me, 11th house, it's the house of Aquarius. It's the house of wanting to fit in. And so I think we hide away the bad twin, the part of us that we don't like, because we don't think it's going to fit in. So Aries in Uranus in Aries, sorry, no wonder I couldn't get that right. Uranus in Aries is helping shift that 11th house and recognize that you as your whole self, accepting your whole self, has that perfect place, has that perfect puzzle piece in the world, if you remember the completion card from yesterday. Taurus, you are working through your 9th and 12th houses. So, Taurus, you have Capricorn in your 9th house, transforming those horizons, transforming, your beliefs. What have you thought of the world? And maybe it's time to be like, oh my gosh, there's so much more that I didn't even look at yet. There's so much beyond, so much that I can explore. So open up your mind and explore those possibilities. Nothing like transformation and bringing through your infinite possibilities. And then the 12th house. The 12th house, having Uranus in your 12th house is a pretty interesting experience. It's time to revolutionize how you find your flow. Taurus likes to do. And I think that's really great. You guys are very productive. But Taurus, this might be a little bit like, oh, wait, am I following my flow? Am I tuning into spirit? Am I honoring those new beliefs? Or am I still doing this the old way? Am I still kind of a machine when I need to find my way back into myself and allow my flow to come through? Aries, you are working through your 10th house and your 1st house. So the 10th house is your career purpose. So, Pluto in Capricorn is shifting your purpose in the world. And maybe it's time for a little job change, or maybe you've had some job changes, or maybe you're really finally stepping into, yes, this is what I came here to do. And meanwhile, Uranus in your sign is totally revolutionizing your I am and how you show up and take action in the world. So that works really well together. All of these work really well together. I think the astro is so divinely inspired. It's so beautiful. Pisces, this is your 11th and 2nd house. So Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn in your 11th house is helping you shift where you fit into the world, helping you shift how you download that information. You guys are amazing at being so inspired with your third eye, but this is igniting even beyond that third eye intuition and bringing in, like I said, the divine mind, divine information. And it's time to ground in that information and bring it here as part of your service, Pisces. And helping you with that is the 2nd house, Aries. Uranus and Aries in your 2nd house is bringing forth these new talents, this new connection to spirit, and helping revolutionize how you show up and how your self-worth, how you will honor your self-worth, I guess, is the best phrase that I can come up with this. It's time to be more than that, dreamy Pisces. There is so much more to you. And so Pluto and Uranus are saying, hey, step up, show the world what else there is with you. And then finally, Aquarius. So you have Pluto in your 12th house, and you have Uranus in your 3rd house. 12th house is finding that flow. And Pluto in the 12th house is a pretty interesting thing. It's really a time to transform and let go of those past things. What holds you back? What is still holding you back from your past? What do you still look at like cringe? Can you transform that and let that go instead of feeding your power into that? Being able to be present with this now and flow in this now. And aiding that is Uranus in Aries in your 3rd house, which is shifting the way your mind thinks about it. You know, for you, actually, a book's coming through, The Honeymoon Effect by Dr. Bruce Lipton. He is a neuroscientist, and he's shown us how the mind really works with these things. If you can shift your mind, revolutionize your thoughts, you're going to find that 12th house flow. And when Pluto comes into your sign in a few years, you're going to be ready for it by having found your flow into being true to you. So that is it. That's all the signs. Tomorrow is the official final square. And like I said, this has been moving through since June of 2012. So you've already been feeling these things, but see, how has this shifted in your life? So have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow for the final square. Namaste.